Alright, my top three favorite TV shows. But I'm gonna do some honorable mentions first. So, one honorable mention I would like to give is for the TV show Daredevil. That show is really good. It has really good action. It has a really good story and hateable villains, right? And then also for the second season, just a really good like cast. It has the Punisher in that season. So Daredevil is gonna be number four or number five on my list. But I'm gonna say it wasn't in my top three because the final season, in my opinion, like yes, the writing was good, but like in my opinion, there was not enough action. And when I watch TV shows, I need there to be a lot of action, or else I just kind of get bored. All right, and number four, I'm gonna say is probably Reacher. Now, with Reacher, the TV show, it's such a vibe. Like, it's it's just really cozy, if that's like the right words. Like, it's just a vibe watching it, like I said. But there's some bad things about it, and like sometimes the story doesn't really make sense, or I mean, it's just a little hard to follow. And then some other things, like some moments could just be a little better, but the action in that show is really good, and they really make you care about the characters. Another thing about the TV show is that it's pretty funny sometimes. There's some really comedic moments, and I think that's what makes the show just really enjoyable. Like, the plot might not be 100% believable all the time, but like it's just entertaining, which is like why I'm gonna say it's probably number four on my list. All right, number three on my list is gonna be this TV show called Banshee. It's a crime like drama TV show with a lot of brutal action, which is a very common trend in my favorite TV shows. The action in the show is basically top notch, and it's really violent and has a very compelling story. The premise is this dude steals this other dude's ID to like see his like lover, right? And then after that, a bunch of just crime drama comes off of all this stuff happening, and it's just a really enjoyable watch. There's boatloads of action, like I said, also drama, which is really interesting, at least in my opinion, and also just a pretty good cast of villains, in my opinion. And this it's just really entertaining. All the stuff I've said about it, it's really good. And number two is a TV show called Lucifer. Now, this show is extremely funny in my opinion. I barely laugh at TV shows, but like this time, whenever I was watching the episodes, I was laughing on a very consistent basis. So, in my opinion, it is very funny, and there's also some action in it. But the premise is Lucifer is bored of hell, so he just incarnates this dude's body, I guess, and he just causes a bunch of shenanigans. And a really good part about the show is he never tries to hide who he is. He's literally open about being the devil, but nobody believes him, and that makes a show so entertaining. It is just one of the most entertaining shows in my opinion. I watched 6 seasons of it, and that's a lot for me. That's the most show I've ever watched for any show. I watched every season. It was every season was mostly good, but the low parts were season 4 and season 6. Those parts were kind of low for me, but the ending was all right in my opinion. Some critique I have on the show is sometimes it gets repetitive. Like you basically know it's gonna happen every episode because it kind of follows a formula. But like this still character what's it called? Character progression. Like the characters actually grow, and you see it happen, and it's very entertaining. But it is a little formulaic, and sometimes it could be unfunny, but it's just really entertaining in my opinion, and mostly funny. So that's number two. All right, number one is a show I bet most of you haven't heard of. It's a show called Mr. In Between. It's a crime show. It's about this dude he was like a hitman for work, and he also does like things relating to crime. He does anything basically for money. But he also has a moral code, which I feel like is a pretty interesting part of the show, because sometimes he'll take a job because he just needs the money, but sometimes he just will turn it down because it's just a wrong job to do. But the show has extremely funny moments. It's a dark comedy, so the humor, it really works for me. I barely laughed at any shows, like I said, but the humor in the show, it just worked. And then whenever there's like gunfights or any like scenes like that, any somewhat action pieces, it's extremely captivating because the way it's done is kind of realistic, and like people actually die, which I feel like was very interesting. And then there's also just straight up bad people that the main character just kills. Now this show, it has some of the best seasons you can ever watch. It's only like 3 seasons. Each episode's like 20 minutes long, 8 episodes per season. So there's not too much content, but it is extremely captivating and very entertaining when you're watching it the entire time. It's just it's just a show I didn't think I would really like, but I loved it. It's my favorite show. And in season 2 of the show, the last episode, it almost made me cry. The episode, the final episode. It's very emotional. So yeah, this is like one of the only shows that's actually gotten me somewhat emotional, which is kind of accomplishing. And it's also my favorite show. So yeah, the only complaint I have about the show is maybe the ending was a little forceful, but or a little sudden, but it's not really a big problem. Like you're gonna be a little confused, but you don't really like mind the ending. It's just every single episode was so memorable and enjoyable, and the only complaint I have is somewhat the ending, but not really. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.